Rightio, so we're going to do a bit of work on the MG now. We've finished with the Murray for now. We're waiting on a welder for the Wolseley. So I'm going to change the interior. It had the black vinyl Australian issued interior. It looks a bit messy in there at the moment. We've got some new carpets for it, custom ones, because the 4-speed non-synchro gearbox is a different tunnel. So the carpets ended up being a bit more expensive. We're going to replace them with this nice leather kit from the UK. And it is absolutely beautiful in terms of quality. Lovely soft hide. Vinyl on the back, bit of carpet at the back, but the whole facing is leather as well. And the good thing is also, on the cushion, let's move that to there, hang on, watch that. On the cushion, it's leather all around the bottom as well. So it makes for a much, much nicer product. So we'll start with disassembling the squab, the top bit. Unfortunately, this one's got a row of blue tacks all around it. Not blue tack, but actual tacks. So there must be a wooden frame or something, or a wooden piece in there that they're nailed into. That's a pain. Normally there'd be C-clips there or something to that effect. And we want to put this on, and we want it nice and tight so there's no wrinkles. It's not necessary to spend a fortune on these. These are around $500 landed here in Australia from the UK. Some suppliers are charging £600 for a set. By the time you get them here with rates and all that sort of stuff, it's going to end up being a lot more expensive, probably nudging up near $1,000 by the time they're posted out, or even more. These were $500 on special at £279, and the leather, the ad didn't do it justice. The leather is absolutely supple and gorgeous, so it's about as good as you're going to get. So the first order of business is to separate the squab from the cushion, and we do that by 2 bolts, one here and one over here. Alright, so we're going to take these tacks out. I'm just using a screwdriver just to pry them out from underneath. Then we can sort of withdraw them. It's a tedious job, but I don't want to damage the vinyl. I'm going to sell this kit off. It's in pretty good nick. It's a little bit of damage to the piping, but I might try and stick them on eBay to recuperate a little bit of money. But we'll start by taking all of these out and see where that leads us. Right, so I've got all the tacks out now. Just want to make sure that they're all out. Have a good bit of a look around, because the last thing we need at this point in time is a tetanus injection. We take this all out. The way to get these off is very gently try and roll it onto itself. And you can see, I didn't realise 1964 cars still had wood where trim was nailed onto them. That's a bit daggy, that bit, so I might have to make a new one and put it on. It's screwed onto a steel frame, which gives it somewhere to nail the trim onto. I thought this was going to be an hour's job, and it looks like it's going to be a lot more. So there we go, the bare seat frame. The frame's in pretty good nick. I'm not going to bother about changing any of that. I might just do that wooden thing at the bottom. And you can see here, these are good serviceable covers. I just prefer leather. And I'll just try and sell them on. If I don't get anything for them, it doesn't matter. But if we get them off, it's just a bonus. So the bottom of the seat's much easier. It's just got these press-on clips that go around the framing of the seat, and to get them off you just put a screwdriver underneath and sort of lever them out and turn them at the same time, and they'll release like that. Now to take these cushion covers off, again you've got to be very, very careful, otherwise you tear it. So you want to push down and turn it inside itself, and there'll be, it's got strings on it that go underneath. It's tied underneath this wire here. So I'll untie those, and then the cover should release. So I'm concerned about these bits of timber here that the trims are nailed onto, and you can see here they're quite loose and cracked and so forth. So we need to use a timber the same as that of plywood. If you use something with a grain, it'll just split as you nail it, and you can't use particle board because it'll just fall apart. So we've got a scrap of plywood here. I might laminate it to make it about the same thickness as that, and you can see it's been nailed before. It's sort of got loads and loads of tacks in it. It's about the end of its useful life, so we'll take that off and use it as a template to make some new ones. I've laminated a couple of scraps of plywood and drawn a diagram of what I need to cut out to make these brackets here. So we started putting the timber on, sanded them up quickly, you'll see here these holes are offset. I want to try and use the original holes, so I've sort of marked up where they go with an arrow pointing forwards, and then sort of drilled the holes, whack a countersink in, and that'll give us a nice steady surface to nail to. We'll start by drilling these holes out, the coin, and then we just give it a countersink. Material can be nailed over, pulled over and nailed on this edge, and the front piece can be nailed across here. And you can see there we're ready to put the cover on now. We've got a nice solid base to attach it to. So we're ready to slide the new cover over. I've used a shopping bag here. You can use Glad wrap, but the problem is it may well it can tear fairly easily, but you can leave the Glad wrap in. This is a shopping bag, so it'll make noise under the cover, so we'll slide the cover over, then we can take that out. The idea is you put the cover over, turn inside out, or semi inside out, and you can use that plastic to slide the cover over, and it'll slide quite easily, like that. But the main thing is it needs to be tight at the top. And gently pull it down side by side. Right. So there's a cut there for the bracketry. The next thing we're going to have to do is put some spray adhesive in here and hold that down, because there's no listing as such there where it clips through. The other thing is there's some marks here which line up with the pleats. It's important to get them right because the cushion will have those marks as well, and it's important for these stitching if you like, to line up with that on the cushion. But that is pretty good. So what we can do, we can secure that behind, but when we secure it, we'll have to secure it with quite a few tags so that it doesn't get that horrible gathered look. We need it to be nice and uniform across the back. Alright, so we've secured the back part with a few tacks, not too many because this front part's going to fold over to cover that seam, and we'll put a row of tacks in there. But the important thing now is to put the spray adhesive in here, let it go off, and then stick it down. Oh, it stinks. So the glue's gone off, and we press it all down. That looks brilliant. So all we've got to do now is secure this, but I might put a bit of weight on here, a bag or something, just for now. And sort of let it sit for a bit. Alright, so the first seat's finished and just sitting in the car. You can see the pleats are all lined up. It's turned out very, very well. I'm very happy with that. The second seat's out. I've started doing that for now. So in the next chapter, we'll start doing the carpets and bolt the seats in, and we'll get a better look at it then.